Um, so guys, so lovely to see all your faces. And thank you so much for joining me and Dave tonight. So, right, I'm going to talk a bit about helium, but Dave's going to talk a bit about crypto bull run, what's going off, what to look out for, what to do, what not to do, because fireworks are coming very soon. So, right, I'm going to speak about helium first, but I'm going to please ask if you can have questions right at the end. So I'm just going to say what I've got to say, and then we'll open it up for questions at the end, guys. So, miners, fingers crossed, guys, should be arriving over the next couple of months. I'm going to pray to the universe for this, but hopefully next couple of months, miners should be dropping on our doorsteps. So, what I need you all to be doing is, most of you should have anyway got Proton Mail set up, but I've noticed that a lot of you have sent your emails at Hotmail or Yahoo when I've been sending out your terms of agreement, and we need, well, you need to have a Proton Mail set up. You really do need to have a Proton Mail set up. We need to get, keep that crypto safe. If you haven't got a Binance account, I'm not sure what else actually supports HNT apart from crypto.com. I don't know if any other exchanges do. I don't know if you know, Dave, but I know Binance does. I know Kraken doesn't, and I know Coinbase doesn't. But anyway, if you haven't got an exchange that supports HNT, guys, you need to open up, I would recommend a crypto.com wallet. I just think it's easier than Binance. So get yourself a crypto.com wallet set up and get exchange set up, and get yourself, make sure you put it to a Proton Mail. So get yourself a Proton Mail email. It's free. Set up if you haven't already done so. They're super important. Okay. So I just want to quickly just talk to you about a few things, really. It's actually been really good and beneficial that we've had these 5 miners, because we've learned a lot about them. They are very finicky little things. I'm not going to swear because this is recorded, but yes, they are very finicky, right? So what we need to do is, before we put your miner in, right, we need to make sure that when we start your miners, you need to be getting the best possible yield. We need to be making sure that your miner's working, the best that it can be. So what we need to do is, before we send you a miner out, we need to look at the other miners around, and we need to make sure that the miners aren't being relayed, aren't offline, aren't just being...
Same year, Columbia was also producing the first Superman movie series. Now, which you were grieved, but first actor to portray action Superman.
Hi, Elaine. You're right, sweet. Can you just mute yourself, sweet?
No,
thank you, doll. Thank you. So yeah, so we just need to be making sure that that the miners around you are also working, decent, because honestly, if miners around you aren't working all right, then yours doesn't. It's honestly, it's just so, they're just really funny. And like I said, they'll take, once you get them, guys, as well, they take quite a bit of time to sync to blockchain. I think that Bobcat were doing something on theirs, and something's, I can't think what Gareth said has happened now, but ours just gone offline. So they literally they need to be, sighted properly. And we just need to make sure that before they get to you, they're going to be working efficiently and stuff like that. So that's what we need to be doing before we send them out to you guys. Also, Dave has asked if anybody who is in a flat or an apartment, can you please let me or Dave know, messages privately, and just let us know if you are, because we need to be thinking about, I think Dave says about having an outdoor one maybe, which might be better, and stuff. So yeah, so like I've said, guys, we're super looking forward to them coming. We're super excited. You are in the best hands. I'm actually not going to make him speak, but we've actually got one of our tech guys on here tonight. Luke's on tonight. So we're super excited to have Luke on here tonight. Look, he's there. He's the dude
sideways, but
hello. Hi, Luke. So
we're sideways.
Yeah, I know he always isn't. And this is Luke, everyone. And Luke's actually one of our, he's in FGS, and he's our tech guy. He's the guy that we go to when me and Dave haven't got a clue what we're doing. So we are super grateful that we've got Luke and that we've got Mark, because literally, guys, without them, there's no way that we could do this. But like I said, we have learned so much since we've had our minors in. We will, like I said, go to questions at the end, and I'm sure that, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I'm sure that if anybody does have any technical questions, Luke won't mind answering them. You're a star. Yes, so that's brilliant. So now I'm going to pass it over to Dave. Like I said, we'll leave helium there for a second, but we will come back to it at the end. I'm going to pass it over to Dave, and then he can just talk all things crypto and bull run.
Thanks, Kate. I've just looked for any other major exchanges that for helium. One that probably quite a few will have heard on is Gate.io. That's another one. That's a bit like crypto.com, really. There are others that are they're like minor ones, but Gate.io is quite a major one that does list helium.
Yeah,
so the three at the minute. Won't be surprised by the end of the year if Kraken do it. I think we're all secretly hoping that Kraken come on board.
I wish that they would have. I mean, I've not set up. I know Dave had great times of setting up a corporate Binance account. I've never heard him swear so much. It's usually me that swears all the time. So yeah, me personally, and Dave agrees, who's also used Binance, thinks that crypto.com is probably the easiest one, or maybe Gate.io then. Yeah. So,
yeah. I mean, we've used crypto.com quite a few times, and it's fine. It's a bit like X Markets and KuCoin and 1 or 2 others for how it
I think it's one of the simpler ones. Yeah.
We've not used Gate.io, but we do know it's there and it's quite big.
Yeah.
Right. I think for the next 3 or 4 months, everybody needs to plug in to the trainings from Curtis, from Mike Sotero, Nick and Picasso, because if you think it's been eventful over the last year, you ain't seen anything. I've not been through a full bull run. I can only go off what I hear, but over the next 3 or 4 months, it's going to be absolutely wild. And I think it's going to play with everybody's emotions. I mean, you listen to Picasso, and he says the whole thing is based on emotions. I think we all need to think what we're going to be happy with in terms of percentage profit, amount of profit, or whatever. Some people on here will keep all the crypto in through the end of the bull run, through the bear market, back to the next bull run, top of it and beyond. Absolutely fine. And there's no right or wrong answer in this. It's just what everybody, I think, is comfortable with in their own heads. So some people will keep it for the next 4 years at least. Great. Some people will think, I don't like the idea of it going down. Possibly for a couple of years. It'll be way above what they've put in. But if it's possible that if Bitcoin goes to 150,000, if Ethereum goes to 20,000, it's possible it could retrace to the levels that we're kind of at now. So Bitcoin 50, 60K, Ethereum 3, 4, 5,000. There's 2 schools of thought on this bull run. Some think it's going to go absolutely parabolic for the next 3 or 4 months and then fizzle out by Easter. And there's no school of thought it's going to be a bit more slow and steady. It's not going to be like other bull runs. And it's going to be like a super cycle. Then it'll retrace a bit, but not be as dramatic. Of course, we don't know until it happens. We just got to be aware. And I think people need to, if it does start going parabolic, and we'll know it, people just need to have in their heads what they want to do. Take all profit, take no profit, or take partial profit. So if people have got £1,000 in crypto and it becomes 5,000, do they keep 2,500 in and then take the rest out, either to spend or keep it in the system? And you can put it in what's called a stable coin. So the stable coin doesn't move. So Ethereum can go from $4,000 to $12,000 back to $6,000. A stable coin at $1 is always $1. It never moves. But what you can do with that for a period of time, you might do it for 3, 6, 9 months or whatever, is put it into a platform where you can get interest on your stable coin. Now, I know Mike and Kurt are going to be talking about this at length over the next 3 or 6 months. They also talk about more complicated things, which I haven't even got my head around yet. But we'll look at those in time. So you take some money out of the crypto where it moves up and down, put it into a stable coin, and then use that just to get regular interest, or move it around the money markets to get interest. So that's something that is there, is an option, and we can be looking at that, I would say, early part of next year. But what people have got in the crypto portfolio now, pretty much, I think, is going to be more or less what you're going to have by Christmas. Just enjoy the ride for the next 3 months and have some kind of a plan for yourself. We've got, what, 20 people on here. There'll be 19 different plans here. Kate and I've got a plan. Everybody else will have a plan each. They'll be slightly different. Nothing wrong with it. It's what everybody is happy with. A friend of mine has had some money in crypto. He was totally new to it. He's made about £4,000 profit, and he's come out of it and let some in Ethereum. The rest is taken out and put in stablecoin to get interest because he can't handle the volatility. Well, Kate and I are at one end of the spectrum. We're fairly immune to most of this. Other people, want to protect the capital. So there's no right or wrong. It's what everybody's happy with. So it really is going to get exciting. Now I want to give you an update on what's happening with ADAX and ADA Cardano. So ADA Cardano brought out part of its functionality called smart contracts in September. They were under pressure to do so from the institutions, because Charles Hoskinson, the guy that runs ADA, said months ago it's going to be middle of September. The bit that makes Cardano talk to the blockchain and web browsers, which is needed, ain't ready yet. So the smart contracts are there, but there's nobody building on Cardano at the minute. So the market thinks, oh, there's nobody building on it because it's not popular. Well, that's not right. There's 2,500 projects wanting to lump on and get active on Cardano. They can only do it when the bit that makes it talk to the blockchain works. Now, that is expected within the next 2 or 3 weeks. So it's highly likely that ADA price after that will move. It's been stagnant for weeks and weeks and weeks because it's waiting for this. It's likely to move after that, and hence ADAX price has been stagnant around about $1, $1.10 for the last month, not moved. That's waiting to go live, which is dependent on Cardano's Plutus application backend, or Charles's bum, as I call it. So they're waiting on Charles's bum to get sorted out. They're also waiting on the audit. From what I can gather, the audit is practically completed, and they're looking to make an announcement on that soon. ADAX will probably go live by the 3rd week in November. I'd expect it to start moving to some degree after that. They're also put an announcement on about an exchange. We know that an exchange is coming. They put an extra announcement on about another exchange today. We're expecting KuCoin to come on board. Whether it's KuCoin that this announcement is, I don't know. We suspect it is. And then others will follow. The other part of ADAX, which is really important, so I would expect ADAX price to go in the right direction from early mid-November. Another thing that will give it a huge lift is first quarter next year, because they got a bridge with Ethereum. So anybody that's on Ethereum platforms at the minute, swapping tokens, they have to do it on all the Ethereum networks. And we know, I mean, Kate and I, for one reason or another, we love Ethereum. Kate's loved Ethereum for a long time. We're doing some Ethereum mining, so we both love Ethereum, but we do know it's expensive. And Cardano is cheap. So they're looking at doing a bridge. So if people want to move from the Ethereum blockchain to Cardano, they will be able to. And that's expected to be another massive leg up for ADAX. So it'll have initial run up. Some people will be tempted to take profits a little bit, none at all, or everything. Just bear in mind that there's going to be another big leg up for them early next year. Now, that may or may not time with the end of the bull run, but what we're also hearing is that developing decentralized finance projects probably won't be as affected in the end of the bull run and the bear market as others. So everybody can do their own thing. We'll probably keep some ADAX, certainly for after the bridge is put in place, because it'll go up again. So that's my thoughts on ADAX. We've got another one. If anybody wants to do the due diligence, please don't just go off the coattails of what Kate and myself say. Have a look on CoinGecko, have a look at websites. There's something exciting in the Cardano blockchain space called Kik, which is like launch pads of new projects that are going to be working on the Cardano blockchain. Have a look at something called VRA, which is Veracity. We've got in that about a month ago, and it was 3 cents and it's now 8 cents. So that's it. That's got promise. Have a look at that. All these things, ADAX, Kik, Veracity, you can stake them. ADAX and Kik, you can put onto a Cardano wallet. There's a new wallet coming out to support ADAX called Jeroy? Yeah. Jero wallet, isn't it?
Jero wallet, yeah.
Jero wallet, that's coming out. That's coming out soon, yeah. And they're partnering with ADAX. There's a couple of Cardano wallets. One's Daedalus and one is Yoroi. Yoroi's really the easy one to use because it's a light wallet. I tried running Daedalus and I gave up after 4 days because I found out the colleague of ours and Luke's, Mark, he said, it's trying to download the full blockchain. So you need a supercomputer to do it. So I would use Yoroi. So you can move Kik, ADA, ADAX, and anything else that's coming on the Cardano blockchain into the Yoroi wallet. And Katie and I did that in 10 minutes, and we're not the hottest on wallets, and we found it dead easy. And things like Veracity have their own wallet. It's a bit like Superbid. So if anybody's had Superbid for a while and they've staked it, you've had to do it on the Superbid site. Well, Veracity is the same. You can buy the tokens on that website, and you can also go onto their own wallet and you can stake them. So I think that's pretty much the things that I wanted to cover. Perhaps we'll take questions for now, and then if, at the end of that, if Luke wants to add anything, then great. Has anybody got any? Oh, Rachel, happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
You had a good day.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah.
Good stuff. Anybody got any questions?
When you talk about opening a mail address,
Proton Mail.
Proton
It's
Mail.
It's Swiss. It's Swiss company. It's one of the most secure emails around.
Right. Okay. So I need to open
Dead
up
easy
a new
to do.
account.
Proton Mail. It's dead easy to set up.
Proton Mail.
Mm.
So when I've done that, do you need my new email address?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
get into good habits. Yeah, that's fine. And you can have it on your laptop, and you also get it have an app on your phone for it. It alerts when your new mail comes in.
Right. Okay. I haven't opened any wallets yet, so I don't know. I might need a bit of help opening a wallet with crypto.
Crypto.com. It's fairly easy to do. Give it a go. If you've got any questions, just shout. You'll have to put your passport in, and you'll have to take one of these silly selfies.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Do you do that with a computer camera, Kate?
No, I didn't. I did it with my phone and then emailed it to myself and then opened it up in my computer and saved it on there.
I've done that.
All right. Okay.
Luke's probably laughing his head off now, like,
Yeah. Look at these two idiots.
No. It's all good fun. It just asks for a lot of additional. Yeah, let me flip my video back around. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It just asks for a lot of additional security things. So it will ask for other forms of ID to be sent through, like passport or driving license. But it's all because it's so secure. But
Right.
it's not too difficult to do. You should be able to manage it, I would have thought. So
this wallet that we need to set up in crypto.com, is that for the helium to go into?
Yes.
Okay.
There's three major exchanges that currently accept helium: Binance, Crypto.com, Gate.io. Binance, we do have a wallet for that, but that's because Binance are the only ones that do a company one, and we've got a company wallet. That's the reason we've got Binance. We wouldn't particularly have it otherwise. Crypto.com has become very widely used by a lot of people. Nobody really says anything bad about it. Gate.io is another one. I mean, I don't know of anybody that's used Gate.io, but I haven't heard anything bad about it. But Crypto.com, plenty of people here have used it.
Okay.
And the educators have used it as well. Kurt and so on, they've used it.
Okay, I'll give
It
that
sponsors
a go.
it sponsors Formula One as well. So it can't be bad.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
Dave Morris has got a couple of questions.
So, Dave.
Hi, Morris.
Hi.
Hey, so how do you buy ADAX? Because I'm looking on obviously Coinbase, and you can't get no ADAX.
ADAX is on X markets currently.
Okay.
It's likely to go to KuCoin. Fingers crossed.
I've got one of these. Yeah, I haven't used it yet, but every time I use it, when I top it up, it gives me crypto coin.
All right.
So I don't know if you guys should get one. It gives you 1% cashback as well.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on crypto.com. So, yeah,
Nice.
So you can get one online, or you can get one through the app, or you can get one through crypto.com.
You use Crypto.com quite a lot, Mark.
I use Crypto.com a lot, and I listen to a lot of educators, and I pretty much up £110 right now, so it's not doing too bad.
No,
I reckon in 5 years I can retire.
brilliant. That's great stuff.
Thank you.
No worries. Anybody else got any questions?
I think we've covered everything.
Yeah. So
God, they would all be quiet when Luke's on, wouldn't they?
I know that
You know what I mean?
anybody that is either on high ground or near water that hasn't already shouted out to us, we want
Just
them to
mute
shout out
Darren.
as
Darren,
well.
mute Darren, or let Darren mute yourself, please.
I've
Thank
done
you.
it. Yeah, so anybody that's living on high ground and or near water that we don't yet know about, can you shout out to us as well, like the people in apartments, because there'll be some particular equipment that we probably want to push their way.
David, I live in a masonette, ground floor
Yeah.
basement.
Yeah, we've got a couple of people, and yourself is one, Teresa, and we've got
Okay.
a potential solution to that we'll talk to you about.
Brilliant. Okay, lovely. Thanks.
Sherry's right by the sea. She's going to be coining it in.
She's right by the sea.
Excuse the pun. Yeah, Sherry is, and Tracy is as well.
Yeah.
I think, well, she's near water.
Yeah,
isn't that, Tracy?
yeah,
And Simon, he's always around water, especially this time of year.
he is.
I want to move by the water.
Blackpool next year.
Looking at Blackpool. Well, I'm looking at Blackpool. Morris is looking at Blackpool. I don't know what Brian's looking at, but.
Does a river count, by the way?
Yeah, river counts.
But it's about 3/4 of a mile away from me, so I don't know how good that will be.
No, that's fine. That's all
Yeah.
right. I need to get some more of those big fat aerials, don't I?
Those big fat ones.
Those big fat ones.
So Dave, you saying then when the golf course floods, that's good for me.
It probably is. You mean your back garden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could bounce off there, no problem.
Yeah. Well, we're only 500 yards from the beach.
Where?
Yeah, but you found a yards from the beach, but the sea's about 25 miles away.
No. No.
For anybody that doesn't know Southport area, that's a local joke. The sea is like right out.
Not every day, but yeah, majority.
You need a buggy from the roadside to get to the sea.
Yeah.
Luke, have you got anything you'd like to add?
I wanted to touch on what Kate mentioned right at the beginning, just in terms of just specific to helium, really, because we've learned a lot with the few that we've put out initially. So that's been helpful, really helpful. It's enabled us to offer a bit of advice and know what to say when we get the next ones going out there, which we think we're going to get them pretty soon, fingers crossed. So it's been useful having those few initially. So when we do start getting quite a few arrive and we can start distributing, we'll be more ready now than we were a number of weeks back. So that's
Luke, can I ask a question that's a real basic question? So let's say you post out the mining equipment and somebody receives it in the post. They just open it, plug it into their USB jack, and then they're good to go.
Aside from one step yeah, which we'll do initially. So so once you receive it, you'll have to let us know, and then we can carry out that step. And then that is it. So so if it's unplugged after that point, it can just be plugged back in. If your network or your Wi-Fi or your home internet goes off, it should hook itself back on when that does come back on. So it's almost as good as plug in and leave it. There's just one step that we've got to do initially. It may be something that people can manage themselves, but it's more likely something we'll just have to do on initial setup.
Is that something that you can do remotely?
Yeah.
There's going to be people up and down the country.
Yeah,
you're not going to physically go to see them.
No, unless they're really very close, close by. But it's something that can be done remotely. So yeah, there might be some technical people that can probably manage that themselves, and that's fine. But it's more than likely we'll need to do it, and it's like a 5-minute job, a 10-minute job, really. So it'd just be hooking into your PC or laptop, carrying out that task, and then you're good to go.
We have sometimes a lot of power cuts around here because a lot of power uses up electricity. So with that, say if the power stopped using for 3 hours, like the whole of our area goes down for 3 hours, you can't mine for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but when power comes back on, it should sync itself back up again. So over 3 hours, there's a little bit of catching up to do, so it can resync to the blockchain again, but not a huge amount. If you're off for a week, it might take a couple of days for it to catch up again. But if you're off for a few hours,
it's just maybe
obviously 5G is coming into play as well, so sometimes it might affect the system, or the system might crash, or there might be more power cuts when they're installing 5G towers.
Yeah, but as long as it's not for a huge amount, in X number of days, then, and even then it will catch up. So you should be okay once things come back on. These they resync themselves.
We're going into 5G because London's going into 5G, and we're just outside London, so we'll be catching up for 5G soon as well. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, Helium are doing a collaboration with I think further on into the future there might well be 5G devices coming out as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
So on the basis of when people plug into their Wi-Fi, how much is the equipment producing income-wise?
It's a difficult question. That varies really. I guess. I mean, Kate and David will say the same thing. It depends where you are. It depends what kind of area you've got. For example, a small 4 dB aerial indoors, or a larger outdoor aerial that's high up. There's a few things that affect it that are dead certs for making a difference, but it's very hard to put an actual figure on it, and I wouldn't want to, because if you say it should be X, Y, or Z per week, per month, and it doesn't achieve that, people might be a bit upset about that. But in general, it's good. It's pretty good at the moment. There are some things that are out of your hands. If your next door neighbour rocks up with one, then it's not great for either of you. And there's nothing you can really do about that. Not that likely, but it's likely that there's somebody within a few miles. So there's a lot of factors. The biggest factors are how high you are. But then there's other factors, like David mentioned earlier. If there's a big expanse of water around, that helps. If you've got really wide line of sight, so not necessarily high, but everywhere's flat. That helps. So lots of different factors.
So would I be better? Would I be better off calling my satellite engineer to turn around and say, Clive, can you come around and install a big aerial and get it to the outside of my house?
We've got some 10 dBi aerials. You and Rachel can have them.
Okay.
So yeah,
Rachel is about, I would imagine, about a mile away from me. Rachel.
About a mile, yeah.
Yeah. So you two want those fat aerials because you can then take advantage of the water.
Mm.
So we'll supply you with those, and then get an aerial guy to fit them.
Mm.
So you're in a good spot. I mean, Mark is fairly flat, but he's on the highest bit where he is. There's nothing around him, and his reach is quite high. I mean, my reach isn't bad, but I'm in a kind of semi-built up area. It's in a bit of countryside, but there's an estate here, and I'm reaching up to 45 kilometers away. But the aerials is significant. Also, ones that are around you in hexagons that are close by, they may not be on our network, but they may be already there close by. They may not be performing properly. What we probably do is we would be able to send a message to them to attend to their route hotspot, because if somebody else close by you isn't performing well, it can have an impact on everybody else around. It kind of drags them down. So effectively we go and bang on the door and say attend to your hotspot.
Right.
Elaine's just said that she's also, I didn't realise she's up Spinkle, which is high up as well. So right at top of Killamarsh, you know where she is. Right up top, so she might want a big fat one and all. Elaine, do you want a big fat one, love?
Elaine, I'll bring a big fat one down.
I want to know to a fatten.
I can't believe this conversation. If anyone's listening to the recording,
Elaine, I'll bring you a big fat one over in a couple of weeks.
I am going to hold you to that.
That's all right. They're in my garage.
As long as you don't know the big fat one.
Yes,
Big
she's
fat
high
one.
up.
In your garage.
I've got a lot of them.
Oh,
2 boxes full.
Yeah.
Good.
Elaine, are you near the Nag's Head?
No, I'm further round. I'm further going towards Spinkill, Katie. Near West End. I'm up at top there.
Oh yeah, she's right. Yeah, you are. Yes,
so I'm like looking down on Eckington and what have you from where I am.
Yeah, she would be then. Yeah, she is right up top of Killamarsh, up top before you go to Spinkle. So yeah, that's fine. Cool.
All
right, Elaine. Thanks.
We'll sort you out, Elaine.
All right, thank you.
Just make a note of these people that need the iron.
So any more questions or before, have you got what else you want to say, Luke, or?
No, all good, I think, unless anyone's got anything else.
Anyone got any more questions for Luke or me, Dave? Have we covered everything?
Oh, we got one thing is we're going to, for everybody that has a Martina, we're going to have them in the Facebook group, aren't we? Yeah. And then that's where all the gen will come. Yeah. Regular.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All general stuff can go in there and that, can't it? And that. So yeah. So that's great then, guys. So Luke, thank you so much for coming on. When he said Luke were coming in, I'm like, yes.
That's all right. Yeah. Glad to join in.
You'll be doing a few more, lots more.
Whereabouts are you based, Luke?
I'm in Manchester.
All right.
Yeah. Not too far from Old Trafford. It's
okay. Is that who you support?
Yeah, and I went on Sunday for my sins.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah.
You shouldn't really rub that in, should I? Klopp used to be my neighbour.
Right, did he?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go usually, but I got offered the ticket and I thought, great. And now I wish I wish
Yeah, what a
I'd
shame. What a
Yeah.
shame. Okay. Yeah, anyway.
Are you Liverpool, Simon, then?
What do you think?
I'm just wondering.
What do you bloody think? Jesus Christ. It's like, well, it's funny actually, because my granddad used to be a Chelsea pensioner, and he got his arm chopped off in the Boer War when he was 14. And he lived in a place called Sir Oswald Palace, which is right next door to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea's football ground. So whenever we used to go and see them every Sunday, we used to open his lounge window and we could hear the football match. And my brother and I went to our very, very first football match, which was Arsenal and Chelsea. And he looked at me and said, okay, so he said, do you want to be Blues or Reds? I said, I'll be Reds. So I was Arsenal. Then moving up from the south up to the northwest, I wouldn't have got away with my boys if I didn't change the red for another red. I would have got hung, drawn, and quartered. So yeah, I'm Liverpool.
Bet you're glad you did that then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
My mum was
Right,
closer
is
to the ground.
Is there anything that you want to add, Simon, before we get off?
No, all
We're
good.
wrapped up now, aren't we, Dave? Yeah.
Yeah, everybody good.
Oh, yeah.
Good to
Thanks
see
then, guys.
everybody.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay. Catch you
Thanks
guys
for being
later.
on.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.